Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Sports Talk Network channel. And welcome to, Steve's Wrestling Ramble. I need to talk in this type of voice because I have a cold that I'm battling. And it's been here for a couple of days, pretty much since New Year's Day it started. So that would mean it'll be gone by next Tuesday. So next week's videos will be fine. Just, sorry. This week's videos will be under the weather. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully I'll be understandable. But anyways, I just want to let you know ahead of time why my voice is why I'm inflecting in this way as well. All right, let's talk about WWE and what happened the past week with the Monday Night Raw, New Year's Eve, and also SmackDown Live. Excuse me, on New Year's Day. I would say that this wasn't too bad. It just was not of great substance. I mean, I did read the spoilers for both shows, and I kind of knew ahead of time what was going down in both regards, but it does not mean that shows are terrible. I think the best moment from Raw's interaction with the Authority, Shane McMahon and Triple H this time, the Fantastic Four of the McMahon family. That segment with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins kind of talking about how his 2019 is going to be different, and he might even be turning heel at some point, not joining the McMahons, but heel or tweener like Becky Lynch is now. We'll see, but he did mention Brock Lesnar in the Universal title, and I think if he was to win the Royal Rumble, or if WWE decides to have him and pick him to be the Rumble winner for the men's side, and Brock Lesnar is still the champion at WrestleMania, it'll be a great opportunity to have Seth Rollins win, and have Brock Lesnar actually losing the title in a one-on-one contest. To actually do that is Roman Reigns. So I have another brother, Shield brother, to do that and defeating Brock in that way. It'd be awesome. I mean, when Dean Ambrose faced Brock Lesnar, not title, but still, he was unsuccessful, but it was a good match. Or at least was all right, could have been better. The type of match that it was. But all in all, Monday Night Raw was all right. We had a first chance battle royal. The winner then would face Dean Ambrose in the main event. Excuse me, for the Intercontinental Championship. And in a surprising, in a sense, twist, because you have Baron Corbin part of the match itself as well. But an actual surprising twist is you have not Mojo Rawley and not Zack Ryder winning. But yeah, former Titus Worldwide guy winning there. So, though he didn't win the title, at least that was something different. That was a different superstar. And a superstar getting his opportunity. And if you can get your opportunity, you make the best of it. And I certainly think that Apollo Crews did. Hard-fought match with Dean Ambrose. And in the end, my dude Dean Ambrose did successfully retain, obviously. But even though that was obvious of what was most obvious, should not, at least to me, my opinion, should not take away the efforts of Apollo Crews and the match that was Apollo Crews versus Dean Ambrose for the IC title, main eventing Monday Night Raw. Excuse me. I think that in itself should be praised. We want stuff different. We want our superstars that we like, or if not superstars we like. superstars that are not getting opportunities to actually get these opportunities. So when that happens here, already in the start of this new era, this thing that they're doing, whether it's, as I call it, WWE universe thing, right? Storyline thing, or an actual thing they're doing. In actuality, as the McMahon family in charge and everything. I'm trying to shake things up for 2019, like already announced. The women will have tag team titles. And I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to whoever's part of that match, let alone who wins and is the inaugural champions. But back to this. I saw online people were dissing it. Apollo Crews facing Dean Ambrose. And how much of a waste of a main event it was and blah, blah, blah. And they're just burying Apollo and all the other stuff that you hear on the internet. And I do, as I always say in my regular voice, when I'm not sick, that I respect everybody's opinion because everybody has one. Not everybody agrees with mine. And I'm not always going to agree with yours. That doesn't mean I don't respect everyone. So I do respect, in a sense, people's opinion of what they thought. I just strongly disagree. I highly disagree either way. I think it was a good thing to have what they had in that Raw. Talk about a 3-hour Monday Night Raw. How do you feel it? How do you make things better? How do you improve a show that hasn't done so hot in the last half? In the back half of 2018. The calendar year. And as I call it, the continuation of a season, the WWE season, the night after WrestleMania to the next WrestleMania. Well, you shake things up a little bit as Vince McMahon, as that promo was, or that segment was a couple weeks ago. And you have things like the no more automatic rematch clause, though we still might get the same rematch of the next subsequent pay-per-view. Like, for instance, probably going to get Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. Becky Lynch versus Asuka. Right, we'll still probably get those matches at Royal Rumble. But I think I like the idea of what that was supposed to show. And quite honestly, if I'm being honest with myself and not just trying to say what people want to hear, I actually like seeing the McMahons on TV. I know we can argue or agree or whatever about how the Raws and SmackDowns have been in 2018, the end of last year, and how things should be here in 2019, or how we would do it, or how we see it differently. Again, each individual subjective opinions. And again, I respect all of them. Whether it's someone that's a good friend of mine, like a brother, Kyron Chase, or quote-unquote random fan that's a fan of the show. I respect all your opinions, not one higher than the other. But that doesn't mean that we agree in either sense. But again, my point being is, in regards to this, I do actually enjoy seeing the McMahons on TV. I do find it more interesting. I'm glued to the TV, so to speak, when they're on TV. Whether if it was just a short segment on SmackDown Live with Vince and Shane interacting with AJ Styles, or Triple H and Shane McMahon interacting with Seth freaking Rollins. Whatever. I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing all four of them either together or whatever subsequent pair or alone, whatever. Because I have a feeling when we have those, or when we have that inaugural You know, that match to crown the inaugural champion, women's tag team champion, Stephanie McMahon will be front and center. And that's fine. I have no gripes about that. She is the woman representative, corporate-wise, of WWE. And not as Vince McMahon's daughter, but as herself, Stephanie McMahon. Or Stephanie McMahon Levac. I don't know if she did take Paul's last name, or just kept it McMahon. And for those that don't know, I'm sure you all do, Triple H real name Paul Levesque. Anyways, but for herself and her being and trying to pioneer this change in the women's division in the WWE, I do still say the Bella Twins did a lot backstage, at least that they tried to get the women more airtime, longer matches, more of a shot like the men get, as in promos and matches and opportunities individually, I'm sure, as well. And I respect that. But we'll see how things go move forward. But I just wanted to say, I do enjoy seeing the McMahons on TV. I just do, whether maybe it's 60% nostalgia, 40% in general. I don't care. That's just how I feel. And as people say, you know, as they say about different things, yes, but, you know, be yourself. Don't hide being you, or don't be afraid to have an opinion about something because it's contradictory to most, or whatever. Your opinion's your opinion. And when you share your opinion, whether it's agreed by the masses or disagreed by the masses, by the majority, you stand firm with that opinion. And in this small instance, talking pro wrestling, scripted WWE television, excuse me. Sorry. My opinion is that I really do enjoy seeing the McMahons on television. And I think having them on TV not only helps in ratings in general, whether it's people pure nostalgic or not, whatever. I'm more interested. I'm more entertained. I don't go back to the Monday Night Football game if there is, or, you know, obviously this happened after the Monday Night Football season was over. But the point is, if there was, I don't go back to like a TV show I'm watching on CBS, The Neighborhood Happy Together, or anything else that's on CBS on Monday night, the Monday night lineup. I don't. Not what I do. I mean, that's not what I do when they're on the TV. Like, maybe if there's a different other match where I'm like, okay, I don't have to watch this, you know, go from there. It's just interesting. Dang, gold. To write my voice way back again, like I said, next week. Anyways, back to wrestling. So, all in all, Raw was all right. I think SmackDown Live was good for a New Year's Day game. I mean, New Year's Day edition. Yeah, though I didn't miss it watching it live because I was in I was out of town in Milwaukee for a Bucks game, so I wasn't able to watch SmackDown live and in color. But I did watch the highlights and actually was able to find it online, because you can find anything online, right? Anyways, all right, episode of SmackDown Live. Biggest part of SmackDown Live was with Becky Lynch and John Cena tag team against Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. You know, maybe next week when I have my voice back, or you can actually understand me more clearly, I'll share my goals for 2019 in regards to WWE and pro wrestling. What I think of my predictions for the year. I think a lot of stuff's going to go down in 2019, as it did. As it did for 2018. But we shall see how everything goes in that regard. SmackDown was good. SmackDown Live was good. Raw was good. And yes, everybody's welcome to follow me on the Twitter at the Ramble _WB. On Snapchat and Instagram at StevieK_06. Again, let me know if you could understand a word I said in this whole episode. I apologize, but I did at least want to get an episode out there for you guys and gals that watch. I'm that dedicated to make sure I have an episode every week, every Thursday night. The start time may be different for different reasons, but I make sure I'm here. The only reason I would truly cancel an episode on Thursday or move it to another day is, family emergency or something to that effect, whether for me specifically or family member. That's how much I take this seriously. One of my goals for this channel is to get to 500 subscribers. Not 1 million, just 500. That's a nice round number. And we'll see if that happens. But I thank each and every one of my subscribers that I have right now, because even though it's small, it's certainly meaningful. But anyways, moving on. Back to WWE World. Raw SmackDown next week will be live and in living color. Alexa Bliss is going to debut her new talk show. Also, I wanted to send my deepest sympathies, my thoughts and prayers to the family of Mean Gene Okerlund, who passed away yesterday, age of 76, I believe. The greatest announcers in WWE history, or pro wrestling in general. In regards to that side of the equation of wrestling, you have the wrestlers like a Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair that'll be remembered forever, not just by the wrestling fans, but even people that don't watch wrestling. People who don't watch wrestling even know who Ric Flair is and Hogan is. Maybe to a lesser degree, but they still know who the heck those guys are or men are. I think in that regard, Mean Gene Okerlund was the same way on the broadcasting side of things, where even non-WWE fans or non-wrestling fans might know who he is. Then again, anybody can Google a name, but you know what I mean. So I wanted to send my thoughts and prayers to his family, friends, and fans out there. They will surely be missed. It's a tough way to start 2019 in that regard, but it would be the circle of life, right? I am so looking forward to Lion King this year, 2019. Anyways, I did my reaction. of the trailer, of the teaser trailer, many weeks ago, but that's in my miscellaneous. Oh, no, never mind. That's in my blind reactions playlist. So, yeah, welcome to check it out if you want. But let's get back to wrestling, and simply want to say next week's going to be off the ground and running. We're on the road to Royal Rumble, on the long road to WrestleMania. Let's go. And as Bray Wyatt would say, run. Because you got to hit the ground running. Got to get through these episodes. on Raw and SmackDown Live. And you know when Royal Rumble season and WrestleMania season is upon us, WWE at least tries to have an A game and bring that A game. So I thank all people that actually did watch this episode at all. If you're watching at this moment, welcome. Simply to type in the comment section below voice, because I'm slowly losing mine, but this flu will be over probably by Sunday morning. Hope you have a great rest of your evening, and above all else, as always, take care.